G'day folks, Parkera here and welcome back to Sportscast, and we are going into Week 11 NFL Pick'ems. But before we do that, it's the usual Thursday here, so let's just have a quick look at Week 10 and how I managed. It was a fairly disappointing 8-6 record for Week 10, and we'll just have a quick scroll down and we'll just cover what I got incorrect. Somehow I thought the Giants would do the job in Munich. They didn't. I picked the Bears. They got dicked. I picked the Falcons, and the Saints went marching on there. I picked the Commanders. It was a tight game though, so I'm not too disappointed with that. And Steelers, tough game. And I guess this is probably the most disappointing. I ummed and ahed about this. I thought the Jets, based on their second half performance against the Texans, might come back and just show the Cardinals. Nah, they got absolutely thrashed. So that is how I went there. Obviously getting the Rams incorrect as well last week. So they're the picks I got wrong, falling to that 8-6. This week in buys we have the Cardinals, Giants, Bucks and Panthers. So let's get into week 11, shall we, and see what. So Thursday night football, which I will be streaming. Don't forget, I stream Thursday night and Monday night football matches and every Green Bay Packer game. Washington Commanders over the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this is going to be a tough game. This is definitely a divisional game. Winner is going to be top of the pops here in this division. It's going to be tough. Eagles are coming into a lot more better form. Commanders with that very close loss, but still a good team. I'm going to go for the Eagles solely because I think they have a bit more about them, but certainly a bit more experience in the quarterback area for one. But also, I just think overall, being at home and the role they've been on, I think maybe that loss to the Steelers may have taken a little bit of sapping from the Commanders, but we shall see. We'll go down here now to the big game for me, and of course we just picked the Packers. Looks like everyone's going to be okay at this stage. Limited participation for some folks, but it's still early days here to write anything off. So, but regardless, I'm always going for the Packers because it's go Pack go, and the Bears are doing what the Bears do. When it comes to Jacksonville and Detroit, well, there's no Trevor Lawrence for this game. I don't really think that would make a huge difference. Mac Jones is set to start. Detroit Lions coming off a very tough, scrappy win against the Texans last week, but I can't go past the Lions. I still do believe, actually, they're the best team in the NFL. I don't like to say that, but I just think overall they are the better team. We have a look here now. Vikings, Tennessee, Titans. Well, I've got to go for the Vikings. Mike, you'll be pleased with that. I can't go for the Titans. I just can't see any way that the Titans get anything out of this. Now, the Vikings, though, they have struggled a lot. They've picked up some wins since they lost, obviously. They were 5-2 at one stage, but they were struggling to get those. The defence that they kind of showed that they had previously, that people were just always waiting to see if it would falter or hold up as it had done earlier on the season. Yeah, the cracks are showing there, but I do think the Vikings have enough about them. Raiders, Dolphins, yeah, look, I can't pick the Raiders, and I'm not. Dolphins did a good job last week. They are at home. Tua and Co are coming back. I just think it's a no-brainer. They've just got nothing really to worry about. Minshew is back for the Raiders as their QB. I don't think that's going to make a difference on the road against the Dolphins. Rams and Pats. Now, this is a tricky one. I'm going to go for the Rams, even though it's a road game. Just lock that in. I do think overall they are a better team than the Patriots. Patriots, they did have a win, but it was also against a rubbish team. So, yeah, you kind of pick those, don't you? And we go here and we go to the Browns. I can't go for the Browns. I just cannot go for the Browns. Saints, they showed me wrong last week. New coach, of course, because they had fired their previous head coach the week before. So big difference here. Interim head coach at the moment seems to have revitalised the team and found the winning format against the Falcons last week, which was a big win because it's a divisional win as well. So yeah, I'm going to go for the Saints here. We go to now Baltimore Ravens. This is a big divisional game as well. I went against Pittsburgh last week. I thought the Commanders might just have enough. Pittsburgh again. And Steelers with Russell Wilson are doing what they need to do to win. They're running. They're just a tough team. Baltimore, it's all good on the offense. Derrick Henry, Lamar, those are huge weapons and they get going. Yeah, look what can happen. But also look what happened against the Bengals. That game shouldn't have been as close as it was. The Ravens' defense is a worry, and because of that, because the Steelers are at home, I like the smash mouth style of Steelers. I think the Steelers will get the win here. It's a massive win. It's a massive game this for both teams heading into the playoffs, especially 1 and 2 in the division there. We go now to the Colts and the Jets. I'm going for the Colts. Anthony Richardson is back as the starter, and from what I've seen, he has been listed as he's going to be the starter for the rest of the season. So Joe Flacco experiment for 2 games faltered. It didn't work. They lost both those games. But I just, after last week's thrashing by the Cardinals, I can't get behind the Jets. I thought the second half against the Texans gave me the hope last week when I picked them against the Cardinals. It just wasn't there. There was nothing there. So I'm sorry. Yep, it's the Jets are going to be the one. Even though they're at home, I just can't see it. I think the Colts are going to come in. They'll have a bit to prove. Anthony Richardson, I like to think he's going to have something to prove as well. I think the Colts are going to win this game. And we go to Atlanta Falcons and Denver Broncos. This is a tough one. 6-4 Falcons against the Broncos, 5-5. Broncos, unfortunate to lose last week. They should have beaten the Chiefs. It was a win. But the Chiefs did what the Chiefs did, and they found a way to win. They managed to block the game-winning field goal, and they won the game. How much that takes out of the Broncos? I don't know if it does. I mean, mentally it probably has done. But can they bounce back against the Falcons, who are also coming off a loss last week? I'll be honest, this is a tricky one for me. I haven't seen much of the Broncos, but there are a couple of odd games that I have actually watched them. I've been fairly impressed. I like Bo Nix. I think he's coming along nicely. I think he's one of the better, probably the better rookie QBs out there at the moment. I'm not saying he's the best, but he's definitely one of them. It depends on Kirk Cousins and co. What's going to happen. I'm going to go for the Broncos because they're at home, and I do think, even though it was a tough loss, I think they'll be galvanised because of just with how they pushed the Chiefs last week, though. And I think that'll give the team, it should give the team as well. It really should. Even though you lost, you should be like, yeah, we were this close away, 1 second away from winning a game against the Super Bowl champs. The team I think they haven't beaten the Broncos. The Broncos haven't beaten the Chiefs for 10 years at home or something at Chiefs. San Francisco, divisional game, big divisional game. Both teams got a lot to prove, obviously coming off it, still dealing with a lot of injuries, kind of coming out of it though. I'm going to go for the 49ers though. They seem to be, Brock Purdy's been doing enough and he's been playing well to get their wins and do what needs to be done. CMC made a start again from out of nowhere last week, and I did change that result last week. I originally picked the Buccaneers, but I did swap it late on last week to the 49ers, which I ended up getting right. And I didn't note, if I do make any late changes, I will note them in the comments as well down below. But 49ers, I think, it's a tough divisional game. Both teams really still kind of have a chance to get into the playoffs, but I don't think many of them, they can afford much more losses. But I do think the 49ers have more about them and are definitely stronger this time around. And we have a big one. This is a big rivalry, really. Kansas City against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo at home against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, like I said, I've been saying all season, they are winning ugly. They are winning ugly. I streamed their game the other night, and yeah. The defense is helping them out a lot. Their offense is not clicking really. Mahomes is making a lot of errors. Overthrew Kelsey last week, as well as numerous other issues. I'm torn because with these games, it's always brings out the best in both teams, really. But it seems to me that the Kansas City Chiefs they do know how to beat the Bills. The Bills always come into this game, whether it's in the playoffs or regular season, with a bit of momentum behind them. You know, everyone goes rah rah. Yes, it's going to be the Bills. The Bills are going to do the job, and the Bills get either crushed or they lose. I honestly am discarding this, and I am going to go
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
I'm going to go to the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to go 10-0. I may change that. I'll let you know in the comments down below. But I think the Bills are still prone to make costly errors, whereas the Chiefs are making errors in offense, but their defense has enough about them to help out, and they still have that. They still have that it factor with their, Kelsey and Mahomes. It just when you think it's not. Yeah, they needed a blocked field goal last week to win. I understand that. But they're winning games. It doesn't matter how they're winning it. They're doing what's needed to do. Luck. Yeah, well, you create your own luck. You can do whatever, talk whatever. Kansas City. Which, to be honest, I'm surprised. Why is this not the Sunday night football game? Bengals, Chargers. Shooting up Chargers. I watched the Bengals, I think Bengals Ravens last week. Bengals should have won that. Burrow's doing great. He's playing well. His passing, he's just brilliant. But the D can't really do anything. It's come and go. It's hot and cold. They've struggled all year. 4-6. I think the Chargers at home especially, I think the Chargers will just do the job. Then we come to Monday Night Football here, and it's going to be the Texans. I'm not going to pick the Cowboys. It's pretty straightforward here. Obviously, was waiting on seeing if there's any more updates regarding some returns for the Texans, but they've still got CJ, and the Cowboys, even with Dak, they were nothing. So without Dak, they're still nothing, and that was proved as well last week. So folks, that's my picks. We're going to go to the Texans. We're going to go Chargers, Kansas City, 49ers, Broncos, Colts, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, Rams, Dolphins, Vikings, Lions, Go Pack Go, and Philadelphia Eagles. I will be streaming this game tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football, so don't forget and catch that stream as well as the Packers game and also the Monday night game as well. So until then, folks, I am Pakira as always. Take care of yourselves and each other. Until then, Go Pack Go. Let me know down below what your pick'ems are like and how you're doing. See you, folks. That'll do. Yeah. Blah, blah.